TxStampin Sharon. I am bringing you a tips and tricks video today on how to get those layers on straight. I've heard from several of you that that's a challenge, so I took the challenge and I made this video for you. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, you can do so below. After you subscribe, hit the little bell. You'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Let me hear your thoughts and how else I can help you in the comment section below. What are you struggling with stamping? How can I help you? Let me know. I sure hope this video helped you guys. If not, let me know. I'll keep thinking. But again, like I said, I love helping people learn how to do certain things when they're stamping. I have been doing this for over 21 years. And sometimes I just do it and I don't even think about it. Like this one, I had to put my thinking cap on. Today, we're going to be talking about getting our layers on straight and what we can do if you don't get them on straight. I made a video on card bases and layers, and I kept getting so many comments about you guys struggling with this. So I wanted to try to help you. Just so you know, I'm using Amazing Life Stamp Set. I'm not going to really be doing any stamping today. Today's video is just about getting those layers on straight and some tips and tricks that may help you. First thing, if you will put a piece of grid paper down, sometimes just eyeballing how you line up your layers can help you. We're going to go through these two cards and we're going to be using different adhesives. So I have my Calypso Coral card base. It just opens up like this, and I'm just lining it up on my grid paper, okay? I've cut my strips at 1 inch by 5.5. All right, so I have 3 strips. You could use designer series paper. You could use different colored cardstock. It really doesn't matter. I just thought it might help you to kind of see how you can use some of these tips to help line up. For beginning, if you will use like a liquid glue, like this is the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue that Stampin' Up sells. You can add some glue to your strips. And then using your grid paper, I know I want about 1/4 inch, and that's one of these little squares. So I'm going to line it up like that. And with the liquid glue, I can move that around the way I want. When you're using liquid glue, don't use much, because on some of the designer series papers, for example, I have seen the line of glue once the paper dries. So you don't want to use much. Just going to add, we do want to catch those edges. And then I want to start at the bottom, and I'm going to move my card base up to where it's lined up with a line. And again, I'm going to go 1/4 inch up. And it just helps to have the liquid glue to be able to move that around. And you can also lift these strips up. If you decide, oh, I didn't mean to put it there, you can lift that up quickly before the glue dries. Now on this one, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it in between, but I'm still going to use my lines on my grid paper. There we go. Pretty easy. My next layer I'm adding with dimensionals. Now when you add with dimensionals, here is my favorite tip ever. When you put something on with dimensionals, and I'm going to do it for you, so hold on, and you decide, oh, that's not where that needs to go, or that's crooked, or whatever, I'm lining this up with the top of my strip. Okay, so I've already stamped and decorated, but my favorite tip for you, if you decide you don't want it there, you meant to put it on the other side, or whatever, just take your snips and snip those dimensionals. Now, I know you probably can't see on the video, but there's remnants left. Since I just put this on, I can easily just rub these bits right off, like that. I can re-add some dimensionals and put it back on. Okay, so there's one tip for you. On this card, we're gonna be using some snail, and I have all my layers and everything put down. If you have a heat tool, it can help you with the snail. My first layer is my typical card base. So this measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My card layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's just 1/4 of an inch smaller than this layer. I'm going to add some snail. And again, using my grid paper, if I want to add this layer like I'm going to do, I kind of use the lines of the grid paper. I know it's hard to see, but I'm holding my fingers underneath this layer until I'm satisfied that I am pretty much about 1/8 of an inch on this side, 1/8 of an inch on this side, and 1/8 of an inch on the top before I place my card layer down. Okay, adding my other strips. This one measures 5 inches by like 1 inch, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just lining that up. I know this is a really hard piece of paper to tell because it is Calypso coral on that strap, so it's kind of hard to see. Making sure my pattern's going the right way. So again, using my grid paper, lining it all up, keeping my fingers underneath until I'm satisfied. Now, here's another layer that's going to go on. I colored the words, by the way, with Stampin' Blends. I'm going to do the same thing. Lining this up, keeping my fingers underneath. If I decided that it was crooked or whatever, I can take my heat gun. I'm not going to do it on the video. I can heat the back of this and it will allow that adhesive to just pull right off. Sometimes if you very slowly just pull, as if you decide right away that you have, gotten it on crooked, and it'll make your cardstock a little ugly. But it's okay because once I go back to put my layer back on, I'm good. So again, lining that up, making sure it's all straight. And I'm just going to add this with some snail. I could use multi-purpose glue or the snail. And then how do I want this? I want it centered. So I'm just looking at the top and looking at the bottom, holding my fingers underneath to decide where I want it before I let it go. At this point, I could easily move it because I haven't stuck it down yet, okay? How else can I help you? This was just a few tips and tricks on helping beginner stampers get their layers on straight, or even avid stampers who've been stamping for a while. If you are a beginner stamper, please comment below. What do you struggle with? If you're an avid stamper, if you've been doing this for a long time, what tips can you give to help new stampers have fun and be successful with their card making? How can I help fellow stampers have more fun stamping and not have frustration? So, happy stamping, y'all!